Welcome back to 5 a Day. Now the next question that we are going to look at is from the 2020 prelim paper of Henry Park, paper 2, question 12. Okay, let's take the next minute to look at the question and highlight the information again. The table below shows the prices of admission tickets to a theme park. So in this table, there are 3 types of tickets for child, adult, and senior citizen. And Mr. Suraj paid $4705 for admission tickets to the theme park for a group of tourists, 2/3 of which were children, and the remaining tourists were adults and senior citizens in the ratio of 5:2. So the question, how many children were there in the group of tourists? All right. Okay. So before we start, we always try to put all the information in a form that is easy for our interpretation. So we were told that 2/3 of the tourists were children. So let us use C to represent children. Okay, children 2. Okay, adults and senior citizens combined. Children, it's 2/3 of them are children, so it'll be 2:1, 2. Total children plus adults plus senior citizens altogether total 3 parts. So 2 out of the total of 3 parts will be children, and 1 part will be the adult and senior citizens combined. Okay, next. The remaining tourists were adults and senior citizens in the ratio of 5:2. So separately, we should be able to get another ratio for adults and senior citizens. So over here, adults to senior citizens, that will be 5:2. All right, and the total for adults and senior citizens altogether, that will be 7 parts. Okay, if we were to look at this adults and senior citizens, and let me just box it up in yellow. This part here, which I've boxed in yellow, is actually equals to the top, because the number of adults and senior citizens, it's the same. Okay, no matter whether you're comparing among themselves or compared to the children, the total number of adults and senior citizens are actually the same. So if I were to make the ratio at the top and the bottom one equivalent, and I can do that by multiplying by 7. So if I take this and I multiply by 7, that will give me 7 parts as well. But if I were to do that for the ratio on top, I have to do it with the children as well. So I have to multiply it by 7. So for the children, it will work out to be 14. And for the total, I also have to multiply it by 7. That will give me 21. So I will get a new ratio at the top. Okay, but the ratio is actually the same because I've multiplied throughout by 7. So this is the new one that I have, and you will see that adults, the number of parts of adults and senior citizens will be 7, which is the same as the bottom. So I'll highlight this. They are now the same, which is the reason why I want to multiply, so as to allow us to manipulate the information more easily. Okay, so right now, if I were to look at this, for every one group of the tourists, let me use the space over there. For every one group of tourists, if I were to look at the ratio, for every one group of tourists, I will have 14 children. Okay, 14 children. And I will have 5 adults and 2 senior citizens. So you may ask me, how do I get these numbers? Where do I get them from? Okay, now let's take a look back, which was what we have done earlier. Okay, if you were to look at the ratio, here I got my 14 from here. For every one group of tourists, 14 of them are children, and 7 of them, this 7, is a combination of adults and senior citizens. And this 7, where do we get it from? We got it from here. And if we were to break it down, this 7 is made up of 5 adults and 2 senior citizens. So that's how I got my 5 adults and 2 senior citizens in the new ratio that we have written out. Alright, so for every one group of tourists, there will be 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. Okay, if we were to go back to the question, it is said that Mr. Suraj paid 4705 for the admission tickets. That means for the entire group. So there are probably a few groups of 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. So let us just find how much will Mr. Suraj pay if there's just one group of 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. Okay, so let's do a calculation right now. Okay, so by taking the admission, what he has to pay for admission for 14 children, since each children must pay 43, so we take 14 times 43 plus 5 adults will be 55, and plus 2 senior citizens, okay, senior citizens will be 32. Okay, if we were to calculate this, punch a calculator, it will work out to be 941. So this is the money he has to pay if there is just one group of 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. But we know there are probably more than one group because he has paid much more. He has paid 4,705. So let us find out how many groups of 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens are there. How many groups of these tourists are there? So what we will do next is we take the total amount that he has paid, which is 4,705, and we divide it by the amount that he needs to pay if there is just one group. Alright, so this will work out to be, press a calculator, this works out to be 5. So now we know that there are 5 groups of 14 children, 5 adults, and 2 senior citizens. So there are 5 such groups, alright, of this. So right now, if you look at the question, how many children were there in a group of tourists? That will be easy now. We know there are 5 such groups. So since there are 14 children in each group, so if there are 5 groups, it will be 5 times 14. And press your calculator. This works out to be 70. So the final answer will be 70. There will be 70 children in this group of tourists. Okay, I hope you have understood the working. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. If you like what I've presented, please leave a like, and do subscribe to my channel so I can make more videos on helping you to solve more math questions. Okay, thank you so much for watching. Till the next time, bye bye.